There we go, fam. Guard your mind. I've been talking about this theme. I think this was 2 days ago when we're talking about fighting with the word. This is one of the scriptures that I've just held on to help me renew my mind, because I was in a place at one point where my habits were not aligned with the kingdom. And I was actually in like thought patterns that were like, it was kind of like a loop where you think one thing and then you think another thing and then you think another thing and then you're behaving one way just because you're in a very specific thought pattern. And to break it, you have to rethink about, okay, why am I having these thoughts? Like, what is triggering these thoughts that I'm having? Are they aligned with scripture? Are they aligned with scripture? Because one of the things that happens is that our thoughts, what I've found is that our environments, the places, the spaces that we stay in, when you think about it, it's like your room, your house, your city, your work, anywhere you are. That environment triggers certain thoughts wherever you are because you're consuming and looking at things with your eyes, with your ears, and all of those things, they trigger certain things in your brain. And once you're in an environment, you can't control everything in an environment, right? So what we end up having to do is only control the environments that we can control, which is maybe your room, your house. And the other place that triggers certain thought patterns, another environment, is your phone. Your phone, your computer, because you're entering a different world, which is online. So anything that you see online, you can't control. What the algorithm feeds you and what pops up on your algorithm, you can't control that. You can control some stuff, but the algorithm is going to do whatever it wants. So the ways that we can control, it's either leaving those environments to begin with. It's just like, okay, I'm not going to be on social media. I'm not going to this place. I'm not going to that place. And you completely just cut it off. You got it. Right. And for you to be able to see and understand some of these patterns to begin with, to now know, okay, this is what I need to leave out. This is what I need to cut out, and start limiting certain things. You need to take captive every thought first. Make it obedient to Christ. Read the Bible. Read the Word. For me, what helped the most when I was reading scripture, I would say Proverbs helped me a lot because it gave me a lot of perspective on how to think, how to behave, how to treat other people, what to chase, what to value. And just by reading the Word and also reading what Christ teaches and what the Word says, what the Word of God says, and understanding the principles that are being taught in the Bible, that's helped me understand and examine thoughts that come into my mind. Asking, are these principled thoughts? Are these thoughts aligned with the kingdom? Occasionally, I still have thoughts that come, and I'm always catching those thoughts now. I'm like, make it obedient to Christ. Because one day I'm going to be with Christ and he's going to know, like, okay, you had this thought. What did you do? You kept on proceeding with this thought and to detain this thought. Because remember, when Christ was also teaching, there's the one part that he talked about adultery, and he talked about lust. That if you lust, you already committed adultery. Just by the thought. That is adultery. So when you now break it down, it's like, okay, what other thoughts are coming? Okay, if someone's thinking or someone is lusting or fighting lust, and the lust is being triggered by what they see on social media, maybe the accounts that they follow, maybe it's the kind of content that they listen, the music that they listen to, that's triggering lust. And next thing, maybe they're on sites that they shouldn't be on, or they're texting an ex, or they're doing something else and they're fornicating at the end of the day, because it becomes a rabbit hole that people end up going on. Because maybe there are already patterns that have existed before. So all of these things are the things that we, as believers, we have to really take control, take charge of our minds.